Hello friends, it's Carla back today with the 13 days of Halloween. Today we are on the last day and this has been such an awesome series to do. I've had a lot of fun bringing these to you. So we've got a die here from Your Next Stamp and one from Mama Elephant, the flip slider, and the one from Your Next Stamp was the border die for the front of our card. And then we have some patterned paper from Lawn Fawn from the Fall Fling pattern. And we've got some stamps from the Happy Howloween from Lawn Fawn as well. And this is one that I have been wanting to use, and it's such a cute one with a little puppy and you're able to dress him up. So I'm happy to be able to color him up and use him on this slider. So I'm just kind of showing my colors that I'm using. I'm doing some blending by taking the darkest color first. I find that this works very well for me. And I'm just taking that dark color around the edge, and then I'll blend in my medium color and then go with my lightest color if I'm using 3 colors. And just working those back and forth until they blend. And I find as well, once they sit for a minute, they're going to soften and blend as well. And I can always go back and add a little bit of deeper color around the edge. So I'm using some Copic coloring paper. I think this is the Express It. Not exactly sure of the name, but it is a Copic recommended coloring paper and it blends really nicely. And I'm stamping with Gina K Amalgam Black ink, which is wonderful because I don't have to worry that I'm stamping with Copic or watercolor ink. It works for both. So I'm just giving you an idea of the colors that I'm using and the blending that I'm doing. It's fairly basic, and I'm not going to show you everything, but I will show you the main colors that I am blending. And so I'll just let you watch through that, and then we'll get to making the card. So I find it really helpful to pull the paper that I'm going to be using on my project so that I can match up the colors to the paper. And here's a look at all the images, fussy cut out, and now I'm just putting them together. So the little puppies I stamped on the inside border of that Mama Elephant flip slider die, and I'm just layering on the little outfits that I'm going to have the puppy wear, the little costumes, and I'm gluing them down flat so that they're going to flip on that die easily. So even with the 2 layers of paper, it will flip fine. I wouldn't put any foam tape or anything, but this seems to work. So that's the flip slider mechanism there that I just bent back and forth at the perforated lines. I'm just adding some rosy cheeks to these puppies. I glued them on the back, the larger border of the flip slider die cut. And I'm just adding a few dots and lines of the Jelly Roll gel pen to add a little bit of highlight. Now I'm getting ready to attach all the little rectangles onto this flip slider, and it attaches really easily. So the first one is going to go directly down onto the base. I'm adding some thin tape, some double-sided score tape, and I'm just adding them in between those perforations. And then I'm going to glue on, use a little bit of glue as well, and press on each rectangular piece, being careful to only get the glue and the tape in between those perforations. So we want the images to be able to flip freely, and you don't have to bend the mechanism any particular way. It's actually going to bend back and forth both ways. Here's a Mama Elephant mini messages stamp set, which I really like, and I'm using this little Pull Me stamp and stamping it with some Tim Holtz archival ink. Now I'm going to stamp on a little message that says boo, and I think my orange is drying up a bit, so I actually layered on some black. And now I'm gluing on my panel of pattern paper. I decided to actually go with the side that had the little acorns on it. And for attaching the mechanism, you're only putting adhesive on the 2 little tabs. That is actually the only place where it is going to adhere to the paper. So you add your tape, and I ended up putting a little bit of glue on there, and you fold them in, and you're only gluing those little tabs to your card base. It's not actually touching behind the mechanism, it's only to the tab, from the tab to the card base. And I'm putting on my cutout images, popping a few things up. The little costumes and the pumpkins are popped up with foam tape, and the puppies themselves are glued down directly. And then I'm stamping on a sentiment from that Happy Howloween stamp set. And here's a look at how the card opens and closes. It is super cute, and I'm really glad that I got a chance to use this stamp set. So thank you so much for following along with the 13 Days of Halloween. I have really enjoyed bringing this to you. I would love for you to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other projects that I am planning on posting on YouTube. And I just really appreciate you taking the time to watch. Have a great day, friends, and a very happy Halloween.